constituency, and theirs are those who were denied opportunities, the poor, the landless, and illiterate. This fact should direct us to have similar perspective and goals to help these communities to catch up.
In celebration of Utata Nelson Mandela 100th year centenary, we visited Qunu Primary School at Eastern Cape, which Utata had numerous contributions to. This is the legacy that Utata left behind: education. Expressions were here silapha at Qunu Junior Secondary School. This is the school where Utata Nelson Mandela did his grade R. This school has been there since we are celebrating 100 years of Utata Nelson Mandela and his legacy. We are here to check out this school. Let's check it out.
Balekile because sisikhumbuzo sokuba ngabana sikhe sanayo ilegend enjengotata omkhulu wethu utata omkhulu Mandela. So ukuze imbali yethu ingalibaleki, kubalekile into bangabana zonke indawo athe wanyathela kuzo zibe zigciniwe, ibe sisikhumbuzo kwi-generations nge-generations ezizayo. As youth, yanga singangalibali i-freedom esithe sayifumana ngokuba ngabana utata omkhulu wethu eyilwele kunye namanye amaqhawe. Yanga lo freedom leyo singangayuzi ngendlela erongo. Si-celebrate le 100 years of freedom, sisenza indlela ezi-right. Sisenza into bangabana nathi silulutsha kwi-future ezayo sibe nento esingayibashiya nabo abantwana abasezayo ngasemva. Yanga singafunda lukhulu kwizinto ezithe zenzeka, singalibali apho sisuka khona, sifocusile ngegolo eyi-1 apho sibheka phambili. I-drugs bethunana ngase singakhe siyekelele kumba we-drugs because i-youth iyachabalala into ye-drugs. I-education utata Mandela besoloko ethetha ngayo, hence sisilungisana nezi zikolo.
Esi sikolo kulapho wafunda khona amabanga wakhe aphansi, wade ke waya kwizikolo ezinamabanga aphakamileyo, kodwa apho aqale khona ibanga lakhe lokuqala u-A ke ukutsho usenze kwesi sikolo kangangokuba apho wayifundela khona indlu wayifundela kuyo kuqala singekenziwa sibe sihle sibe nje esisikolo ilapha ngemva seyadilika ke ngoku indawo yayime kuyo seyenziwe yayicawa. Abantwana bethu ulutsha luyaqhamla njengoba kusakhiwe esikolo, ulutsha lethu luye laqhamla kakhulu nezinye izinto ezenziwayo apha eQunu. Abantwana bethu abancinci bayaqhamla kakhulu abadinga imisebenzi. Noko kutsho njengoba ikhehle laphuma entolongweni kwakwazeke ngokuba kufumaneke amathuba emisebenzi. Yiyo ke yona nto ibalulekileyo ethe uphuma kwekhehle kwacaba sifumana ukuba sikwazi into yoba abantwana bethu babe nokuxhamla. Njengoba esi sikolo silungiswa ngoku, sisikolo esidala esi kuya kwacaba uba siyazixela nje uba ngoku sifanele uba siphinde siqalwe phantsi ukwenziwa ngenxa yobudala baso. Cinga xa utata uMandela wayisenza ibanga lakhe lokuqala ugrade R ke ngokwangoku, kube kanti esi sikolo sisamile nangoku asikemki nayo nemimoya. Yiyo ke ngolento iyakacacisa into yoba masiphinde ke ngosilungiswe ngokutsha ukwenzela into yoba siphinde siqaqambise ikamva labantwana bethu.
Sithe sisuka apho, Expressions then attended the 16th Mandela Lecture by former US President Barack Obama.
Scenes of sheer nostalgia here at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg, where about 15,000 people are starting to gather ahead of the 16th annual Nelson Mandela Lecture, which is expected to be delivered by former US President Barack Obama. Now, as Expressions, we are also here to have a conversation with young people to find out from them what is it that they're doing to ensure that they uphold the legacy of Utata Nelson Mandela.
Madiba reminds us that no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart. Love truth. Let's see it as our North Star. Let's be joyful in our struggle to make that truth manifest here on earth, so that 100 years from now, future generations will look back and say, they kept the march going. Mandela said, young people are capable, when aroused, of bringing down the towers of oppression and raising the banners of freedom. Now's a good time to be aroused. Now's a good time to be fired up. And for those of us who care about the legacy that we honor here today, about equality and dignity and democracy and solidarity and kindness, those of us who remain young at heart, if not in body, we have an obligation to help our youth succeed.
Mr. Motlanthe, this is all in the sidelines of the 100th year centenary of the late, great Utata Nelson Mandela. Do you feel that the youth of today in South Africa are really doing enough to uphold those values?
Well, I think youth must be given space and right to be as radical as they possibly can be, because if they get to be as understanding as elders, then there's no point, you see, because you know, the older you become, the easier it becomes for you to adapt to circumstances and conditions. And therefore, it is a prerogative of youth to challenge underpinnings of every pillar of society, to push the boundaries. That's how we will be able to get progress. Older people can only tell you that don't try, because so-and-so tried before and failed. And so, you know, we must encourage young people actually to be radical and give them the space to, you know, bring fresh ideas to take us forward. You know.
Let's talk about the importance of this event.
This is a platform for us for dialogue. It sparks, it inspires, it triggers dialogue for the foundation. And we don't invite speakers who are just going to deliver a lecture and after that we wrap it up. We need to pick out of it what are the things that we need to be left talking about going forward. So yes, indeed, this lecture achieved that, because out of this we're able then to start engaging on some of the things we need to critically engage about. So you can hear in the lecture today that the President is beginning to emphasize the role of the young leaders in making these solutions that we are proposing a reality.
Butlebo, I want to know from you, what are some of the key points that you take out of this lecture that was delivered today by the former US President?
The most important thing that I really took out of it is the role that we should play as Africans in the new technological era, especially in the fourth industrial revolution, that we must reskill and retrain our young people to participate very, very well into this future, because this future is so different and we have to be aware of it, especially with artificial intelligence and robotics that will threaten jobs into the future.
Into that I took from the entire lecture is the fact that, you know, it is time for abantu abasha, youth, to be aroused, to be fired up. It's time for them to voice their, you know, views and not be shy about what they want and what they think.
But do you feel as young people we're really doing enough to uphold the values of Utata Nelson Mandela?
Yes, we are, but sadly we're not getting enough support. And I'm saying this because I think uMongameli Obama wenze umzekelo omhle into yoba President Nelson Mandela served his term so emva koko wanikela kwabanye. Now if you want abantu abatsha into yoba bakhule benze izinto ezibonakalayo, kubaluleke kakhulu into yoba senze njengotata Nelson Mandela, siserve sogqiba siyinstile zonke ezi zimfundiso zethu.
Guys, that was really touching. Some important points were touched on. I just want to know what stood out for you.
I think it's Obama's call to action for young people to take on the baton and to build on the legacy that Nelson Mandela built.
You know, he made an important point about how it won't really, be an overnight success to rebuild South Africa. Do you guys really agree with this?
Mostly the things that he spoke about were around nation building. I think that's very important for young people to actually, participate actually in democracy as well.
If we have confidence in ourselves, in our country, in our future, we are bound to succeed in all our efforts.
Joba sesigibele phezu kwenyanga kaJuly, we do know that this is a very important month lapho khona celebrate Nelson Mandela month, and this is all at the backdrop of the 100th year centenary of the world global icon. This is why Expressions sibone befitting to come to you from the historic 8115 Vilakazi Street, Orlando West home, lapho khona sobe sithatha base phela nabantu abasha as well as people from all walks of life and across the country who visit this place to find out ukuthi ngabe indima bayidlalayo in this particular month yona emiphakathini yabo yini futhi what difference are they making in their communities. Guys, welcome to Expressions. I just want to know what brings you guys here in South Africa.
Well, we're here from with the Studies Association. So it's a study trip where we want to visit a lot of cultural events, but also some universities and companies, and really get to know what South Africa is all about, because we all have some biases about what the country is, but when you visit it, I think you really get to experience the country.
Oh wow, I can already see the faces already. You guys are on some, okay, well, South Africa is that. Okay, I just want to know what makes it so important that you guys just had to visit this place in particular as part of your tour?
Yeah, the history is quite young, I think, here, and yeah, you get something in Europe, but if you come here, you really see it and you see what's happening here and what happened here and the impact, so that's very interesting.
Indeed, and as you can see even behind us, some, interesting artifacts that have been put up as well. I just want to know, to the global community, what does Utata Nelson Mandela stand for?
Oh, well, we all know him because he fought against the apartheid. That's when you talk about Nelson Mandela, you talk about the apartheid and his fight against it.
What does Utata Nelson Mandela mean to you?
I think he's quite a hero actually, because he's for all the people, he's an example, and I think that's a really good thing, and he achieved pretty good things, and he was very brave. So
I think it's good that Mandela is so well known to a lot of people, because then it's not just someone who did something, but many people know him and can get to know what he has done, and I think that's good. And also what you're doing to really get it under attention for people. Hey, remember him, please.
Thank you so much for speaking to Expressions, guys. We wish you a spectacular trip here in South Africa. Enjoy the rest of your tour. You are tasked, with the insurmountable task of giving Abantu the proper experience of this historical place. Tell us, for you, what does this mean?
Being in this house reminds us of the past, but also reminds us of the great transformation that our country went through, with reconciliation and forgiveness. It also represents the future, because as I come here, I've been here more than 20 times in this home, and there's people from all around the world. So this house now brings people together, and that's what I love about it.
What do you think that young people should take away from a legacy, Tata Mandela?
I think we should never give up. Despite our circumstances, we should always believe there's a better future. We need to be relentless. We need to be tenacious. We need to, despite what we go through, we need to work hard. We need to have this energy that Mandela had, and try to improve our own lives, because we can. He did it, so can we.
You are interning at this historical and significant place. There's no taking away that this is a very important place as far as the legacy of Mandela is concerned. Tell us about the whole experience that you give our tourists.
We're trying to keep it as simple that the people should know how the people were living like during the apartheid time, how they got their houses and the struggle that they went through.
So for you, what's exciting about being here and being part of, the Mandela legacy?
It's exciting that I'm learning about the history of my country, not like instead of learning it from other people, and being part of the people that are delivering the history to other people as well.
Now, what do you think of the legacy that Utata Nelson Mandela has left behind?
He has paved the way for us to fight for our rights, even though some of people may feel that it hasn't been delivered yet, but it's up to us now to continue what he was doing.
Gabe ilegacy kababa uNelson Mandela isho ukuthini kuwena?
Umuntu esithande ukufunda kakhulu uyena into azenzile nezinto adlule kuzona empilweni. So izinto eziyazigqugquzelela that especially thina as a youth nabantu ngokwenza ngibona ukuthi abantu abaningi bavisitha lana abahlala bezobona ukuthi wenzakalani la endlini yakhe.
Around our community, what we have planned, on Wednesday, there's a place at Dobsonville where we're going to be planting throughout the day, planting vegetables. That's how we give back to the community.
You must look after this facility yourself, because there is nothing discouraging as to put up a school like this, and next week when ESCOM comes back, they find that it's dirty, it's neglected. Look after it, because I am going to ask him again to embark on a project, notwithstanding the fact that he has spent so much money. We want this peace, this spirit of reconciliation. That spirit must not only bring the government and ourselves together, it must bring our own people. Those who have been working with the enemy, they must now work with us in order to build this new South Africa.
Well, in one of his famous quotes, Utata Nelson Mandela said, "It's all about how you use your time that determines what kind of a person you are." Ingakho ke siye expressions today is take khona la SABC Children's Ministry eRoodepoort, where we're going to be spending time with the young ones just to find out what they do for fun, and besides that, just help them paint indawo yabo lapho khona. They come here on a Sunday, they use as a place of worship, they use as a place where they have fun, they use as a place where they tell their stories as the upcoming generations. Plus, we also want to know ukuthi benzani bona for Nelson Mandela Day and how they're celebrating this global icon. So, follow me. What makes a Nelson Mandela Day a sort of driven show special?
For you to be part of the content offering, it's such an honor to come here and to take part in this great initiative where you just spend time and you give back to the community. You know, Nelson Mandela was very deeply compassionate. He cared about the community, he cared about the human race, and more than anything, something that really resonates in me, he deeply cared about children. So I really think this day is very special for us as Team Expressions, just to take the time away from the offices, away from the busy schedules of writing content and thinking about all these difficult stories.
How does it feel for you to be out of the office, to come and give out some of your time and paint?
Well, actually, it's an exciting feeling being here as part of Expressions. It's not for the first time. We do it each and every year, and I must say that we come humbly so just to say, you know what, we're giving back to the community. Utata set an example. It has been said that a leader is a leader by the action, and the action should also be complemented by the preaching.
What made this particular experience different for you?
For me to give back
to take my time and go out and do some painting. It's something new to me. Well, I'm so excited and I'm so grateful that I'm part of this. Give it back to the kids, to Mandela. I say Viva Tata. Even if you, as in, we will never forget you. I don't have much to say, but I'm really excited. Yo, yeah, one energy.
Yeah, ngiyabona vele. And this is the person to know, by the way, if you want to get your stories out there on the Expressions page, on our Expressions page. We are on Facebook as well as on Twitter, right? Let's speak to you, Bramzi, one of our producers here on the show. You've done the most work here. You know, hashtag doing the most. How did it feel for you?
It's a great gesture for myself and the team as well. And then I will encourage everyone as well on the day to do something, just in the name of Mandela.
These are the people that you need to know. As you've said, it's the #1 youth current affairs show. You should know this by now. Like, I'm out of here. These are the people you should know.
A man with great courage, a man with a historical past, a freedom fighter who has fought for the rights of others, a man who had a great soul, and when he reached his goal, he made our country whole. A man who is very selfless, a man who has taught us to be kind and have courage, a man who has taught us the value of time and to realize that we should always do good.
Tell me what Nelson Mandela means to you.
Well, Nelson Mandela really means a lot to me because he made me realize that my rights are also important and that I should not let anyone violate them. See, so, and he helped South Africa be united.
I came here to come support and talk about Mandela. He really left a very good legacy for us. He fought for our freedom, for our economy, for people not to judge our race, our cultures, and he really did much for us, yeah.
Ke leboga gagolo for Team Expression for mosebetsi o ba o editseng, and then also thanks for Ntate Mandela, because if it was not for him you guys wouldn't have came. But
oh, besizoza.
No, that was just a joke, but you seriously guys, thank you so much for the good work that you have done. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I would like to sing a song on behalf of Ntate Mandela. I would like to thank you for your freedom. You helped us a lot, for we will always be grateful. I love you, Mandela. You are my hero, for we will always be grateful. We will always be grateful.